Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to week number 4 of season number 3 of the Cooldown.tv iRacing Street Stock Dirt Series. And we're really happy to be back here again another Thursday night. The days keep getting colder and snowier outside, but the racing is hot as always on the iRacing.com servers as Cooldown.tv ready to host another Street Stock race. Now, last week was a long one. It was a doozy night of racing. But who turned out on top? That was Brian Dorge in the number 16, I believe was his number last week. I think it still is his number this week. Yeah, Brian Dorge in the 16, being able to limit Jeff Rempel's attempt at going 3 in a row. And looking at the point standings, now that we're a few weeks in, Brian Dorge is also our points leader with 286. Jeff Rempel, who was the back-to-back winner in the first 2 weeks at 264. Thomas Kennedy, 1 point behind him. In third, tied with Sean Clausen for third. Sean Clausen, who's had back-to-back top 3 finishes, finishing in third place the last couple of weeks, starting to feel pretty comfortable in that top 3 position and a lot more patient than he was last season. Tyler Dell, haven't seen a lot of Tyler Dell, but still strong in that top 5 position. We see Chris Peters, who's always started off well at the beginning of the race night, but falling off towards the end. The drag racer of Gareth Senkow with 235. Dave Gerling, the B-main dominator of Dave Gerling in 8th with 222. Derek Robinson in 9th, and Max Wozni capping the top 10 after 3 weeks of racing. We're going to see we're over halfway done the season for this round, and it's going to be a doozy again. Jeff Rempel, who actually started in 12th position last week, got himself all the way up to 3rd, and unfortunate deal, got into the inside wall and did not finish very well when it was all said and done on the last lap. So even though it was a long night last week, it was a heck of a finish. And this time we're at Volusia Speedway Park in Barberville, Florida. This is actually a pretty good track in terms of beginner entry. I know myself, I've run a late model on here a little bit and actually able to complete several laps in a row before spinning it, rolling it over, or smashing into a wall head first. So I expect in these street stocks it's going to be some good side-by-side racing, some competitive edge, but hopefully not as many incidents as what we had last week. But you know, these drivers improve week in and week out. They turn a lot of laps. They've been at practice for 30 minutes already to get ready on this race night. We're going to actually have a ton of cars, 20 or 21 here. So we're going to have 3 heats that I know of. Let me just double check here. Yep, 3 heats. And it's going to be a doozy, 8 laps for each heat race. So track usage is going to be at 20%, so we're going to have some water on it to start out. The race lineup is a random draw by iRacing's computers, and we'll have a total of 8 laps or 8 minutes per race. Each car has 1 reset, and iRacing and manual cautions will happen. If necessary, caution laps will not count. Top 4 are going to go straight to the feature. Everybody else is going to a B-main to determine the rest of the lineup. So we're going to get started in heat number 1 very quickly here. And in heat number 1 on the grid, we have the number 25 of Levi Runge. Oh, let me get this thing figured out again. Oh, sorry. Heat 1 is going to be Pat Davis in the 0-1. Sorry, I was looking at the practice finish. Brian Dorge, last week's winner, is going to be on the outside front row. Third inside is going to be the number 13 of Dave Gerling. Outside of him is going to be the number 15 of Cameron Brown, or the 4JR if his skin is looking proper. And the 818 of Derek Robinson in the 5th position. Tyler Dell is going to be in the 6th position in the number 8. And Bailey Cousins in the number 20 is going to round out your 7 cars in heat number 1. All right, Pacetrack's going to start him off. We might be missing 1 car. One car not going to make it into this heat. Hold on, 2, 4, only 6 cars. I think we might be missing. Let's take a look here. We got the 10, 01, the 16, the 8, the 13. I think we're missing the 4JR of Cameron Brown. Look at the beautiful paint schemes on these cars. Pretty much everybody, a custom paint scheme on pretty much everybody. And we'll see what Brian Dorge can do after winning last week. He was pretty excited. He was sweating a little bit after that race was over. Most drivers, they try their best to contain their excitement because they're probably on such an adrenaline rush. It's hard to speak sometimes. But Brian Dorge having an opportunity here to get another win in a heat race here. The consistent driver over the last few weeks was rewarded with a feature win. And Pat Davis, a Midwest Modified driver in real life, starting on the front pole. Base truck pulls off. Green flag. Side by side into turn number 1, Pat Davis and Brian Dorge, but Davis is going to slip up the track a bit. That's going to give Dell a bit of a high line, keeps it off the wall. And Gerling to the inside in the 13. Gerling to the inside, not going to gain much of anything. Pat Davis is going to hold on to second spot, crossing the start-finish line. The 13 and 8 get together, but it is Patrick Davis. Here comes Gerling on the inside. Can't seem to find a spot to get by Pat Davis. Side by side for second. Dorge is pretty happy on this deal. He's going to fly himself to the second completion of this race. Side by side for second, third, fourth, and fifth. The 20 might get into the side of the 13 a little bit. And it looks like he does keep going, but might have been a bit of a nudge by the number 20. Side by side for second, third, fourth, and fifth. The 20 gets into the side of the 8, but not too hard. No harm, no foul. Pat Davis still holding on to second. Gerling and Davis fighting for second and third. The 20's now moved into fourth. Remember that top 4 transfer into the A main. All other cars will go to the B main. Halfway into this first heat race of tonight. Race number 4 of our 7 weeks. Dorge doing everything he needs to do to win this race. Doesn't have to make... Oh, we got sideways the number 8, Tyler Dell. Looks like there was some contact with Dell and the 20. Caution is out. Our first caution of the evening. Let's take a look at that replay there. Looks like the 8 slid up into the number 7. That caution's going to be on the number 8. Brian Dorge, Pat Davis, and Dave Gerling, your top 3. And the number 20 car of Bailey Cousins, rounding out your top 4. We're going to get them lined back up 2 by 2. We're going to go single file. Let's see here. One more caution lap. I think we're waiting for a driver to get on the track as he drives into a tire somewhere back there. What's up, OTC, on the stream right now? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining the cooldown.tv iRacing Street Stock Series. Week number 4 of 7. As the weather gets colder outside, it gets hotter on iRacing. And Brian Dorge, last week's feature winner, is your leader in heat race number 1. Patrick Davis and Dave Gerling, a great side-by-side racing with them. And then, of course, Bailey Cousins involved with Tyler Dell. Green flag is out. Brian Dorge, single file restart. Let's see if Pat Davis has anything for the leader. It didn't look like he had it. We'll see if he's got it on this run. Number 20, Cousins to the inside of Dave Gerling in the 13. Not going to be enough. Couple laps to go in heat number 1. Almost 3 wide coming into turn 1. The 20 car hits the inside wall. He's going to lose some space. Here comes Gerling on the inside again. Just a hard dive to the inside. 1 lap to go for Brian Dorge. Gerling's going to try everything he can, but he comes in too hard. He's not going to gain anything on Davis coming out of turn 2. It's all the number 16 in heat number 1 as he goes through turn 3 and 4. No real battle for second or third. Dorge, your winner. Davis second. Gerling third. And rounding out your top 4 is going to be Bailey Cousins. They're going to transfer straight to the A main. And everyone else behind that are going to go to the B main to finish the final qualifying positions. Let's take a look at heat number 2. Heat number 2, the number 23 of Chris Peters is going to start on the pole. Levi Runge in the number 25 to the outside front row. On the inside second row, the number 99 of Don Ashton. The outside of him, a sprint car driver in real life, the number 9 of Thomas Kennedy. On the inside third row, the drag racer of Gareth Senkow in the 43, and Sean Clausen, also a drag racer, on the outside of him. And Jeff Rempel at the back of the field of heat number 2, a super truck driver out of Winnipeg, will have his work cut out for him as we get started on heat number 2. Seven cars in heat number 2. Jeff Rempel is going to be starting all by himself at the back, which is going to give him an opportunity to choose where to go, depending on what happens with the other drivers in front of him. He's got a couple drag racers to deal with. Pace truck's going to pull off. We're going to go green for heat number 2. Peters, your early leader into turn number 1 and 2 as the 33 gets really high. But it looks like it's going to be Chris Peters for lap number 1. The 25 to the outside. See if he can gain anything on the outside, but he's going to battle with the number 9 of Kennedy. Oh, he gets into the back of the 23. The 9 gets into the back of the 23. The 23 keeps it straight. What a battle for the top 3 positions. As Levi Runge trying to challenge for second, but there's Kennedy on the inside again. Meanwhile, the number 12 of Jeff Rempel has moved into the 4th position. He's in a transfer spot to go directly into the A-main. Every position he gains will be a position. We look inside Thomas Kennedy's rig right now on the broadcast. Look at those wonderful trophies in the background. Look at them, just that laser focus of Thomas Kennedy looking pretty good out there, running in the top 3 of this second heat at Volusia Speedway Park. Let's see if he can make a move on the number 25. 23 of Chris Peters now with a few car lengths of a lead. Getting a little slick at the middle of the racetrack, but lots of grip on the outside of it. That's going to hold Chris Peters into turn 1 and 2 onto the backstretch. A little bit of fanning out for the top 3 now. Top 3 by themselves. Jeff Rempel a little further back, but had started 7th place, running in that final transfer spot, and he has gained a little bit on the inside. He might have a shot at 3rd. Chris Peters, your leader, with 2 laps to go. 2 laps for Chris Peters in heat number 2. Wow, Jeff Rempel throwing it in really hard in turn 1, but I don't know if that's going to be enough speed to gain enough as we get into turn 3 and 4 and approaching the final lap of heat number 2. Chris Peters, your leader. Second, Levi Runge. And third, Thomas Kennedy. On to the backstretch out of turn 2. No real challenging in the top 4. And unless something crazy happens, Chris Peters is going to be your heat race number 2 winner. In car number 23, second, Levi Runge. Third, Thomas Kennedy. And your 4th place finisher of Jeff Rempel, who was back-to-back winner in the first 2 weeks of our race season, is going to transfer into the A main directly. Well, let's take a look at heat number 3, our final heat of tonight. Tony Bachhoven's going to start on the pole inside front row. And Stephen Bowman in the number 14, who had a bit of a rage quit situation, but is back again in the driver's seat, the virtual one, starting out on the outside front row. On the inside, second row, the number 19 of Max Wozni, and to the outside of him is the number 21 of Cole Maidenuk. I think I need to pronounce that properly in the future. Jerome Guillot starting on the fifth position in the number 48. And I'm not starting this race for whatever reason. I'm in it this time. But Nick Lenert will be rounding out the top 6 in this race. I wish I was in this race in a way, but I got to announce this. Thank you once again, each and every one of you, for joining us tonight, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or on the Twitch stream. Still waiting for the number 75 of Nick Lenert. I do not see Nick Lenert in the lineup, so we're going to be down to 5 cars in this heat race number 3. Total of 19 cars. So now we only have 4 cars. Four cars in heat number 3. We're going to delay a lap here just to see if we can find out what happened to the 5th and 6th place cars. As the sun sets at Volusia Speedway Park in Barberville, Florida, it looks a lot warmer there than it does here, that's for sure. You really miss summer when you watch beautiful sunsets at other locations. All right, pace truck's going to pull off, and Tony Bachhoven's going to lead him into turn number 1. Bit of a push in the number 7. Guillot to the inside of the track, dives in pretty hard, but he's going to lose a bit of speed. He had to check right up. Tony Bachhoven leaves lap number 1. But it's side by side for second with Steve Bowman and Jerome Guillot. Jerome Guillot now taking up second spot. Looking inside Stephen Bowman's car there as he runs in the 3rd position. Guillot going really high, trying to grab the outside berm. A bit of a cushion there. But it's all Bachhoven in the lead. Battle for second. Still there coming into the corner, but Bowman's not able to hold it. As Guillot goes really high, gets into the back of the 7 a little bit. He's going to get into the marbles. But there might be enough speed for Guillot to make a move here. He's going to try this once again on the back bumper. Tony Bachhoven in the lead. Gets a little bit sideways. Yo to the inside. Bachhoven's going to maintain this lead. I don't think anything's going to happen. We're at 2.5 laps to go. Two to go. Two to go for Bachhoven. Second is Jerome Guillot. And the 14 of Stephen Bowman. They have quite a lead over fourth place. One lap to go, half a lap to go now on the backstretch. Looks like it's going to be Bachhoven, Guillot, Bowman, your top three, and fourth place is going to go way, way back to Cole in the number 21, Cole Maidenuk. And we're going to go straight into the B main. In the B main, starting on the inside front row, the number 8 of Tyler Dell, who was in that incident in heat number 1. The outside, Sean Clausen, and the number 33, rounding out your front row. On the inside second row, Max Wozni, and the number 19, who missed his heat race. And Derek Robinson in the 818, starting in fourth. Gareth Senkow in the 43 will be starting in the 5th position. And in the 6th position, it won't be me because I'm not there. So the 6th position will be Cameron Brown, who missed his heat race as well. In the 7th position is the number 99 of Don Ashton. And Nick Lennert, who missed his heat race as well, in the number 75, will start at the back of the field. Two, four, six, 8 cars to start this B main event, and this is going to round out the rest of the field from basically 12th place to 19th place. This is a 12 lap or 12-minute race. Everyone to go to the feature, but these are the drivers that are going to determine the bottom half of the lineup. You win this race, you'll be at the highest position behind the top 4 from each heat race. So top 4 from each heat race, that's 4, 8, 12. So 13th position if you win this race. If you finish last in this race, you will start at the back of the field. One more lap. We get set to go green. For our B main. Pace truck dives off. Here we go. Green flag for Tyler Dell and Sean Clausen. Nice and clean out of turn number 2. It's Dell and Clausen. Wozni to the inside. A turn caution is out already. Not even a lap in, and we already have a caution out. Looks like his incident at the back. Didn't see it on my view. Looks like something involved with maybe the 818 of Derek Robinson. Looks like he got a little high and hit that outside edge, and the 99 got into the back of him and then the side of him. And it looked like the 4JR of Cameron Brown also got into a tricky spot. Track's not as wide as you think on the outside of the backstretch. Thank you once again for joining us at the CoolDown.tv iRacing Street Stock Dirt Series. Every Thursday night for the next several weeks, we're at race number 4 of 7, our last race of this season on December 17th, 2020, as we almost get done the longest year of our lives, 2020. Nick Lennert to the back of the field, and Derek Robinson as well. We're going to get them lined back up. And we'll have one lap completed in this 12-lap race, or 12-minute time limit. We're already actually 4.5 minutes into this. Double file restart. Double file restart for Tyler Dell and Sean Clausen. Max Wozni, Gareth Senkow, Cameron Brown, Don Ashton, Derek Robinson. And here we go, green flag. Dell, your leader, into turn number 1. Side by side, Wozni and Clausen. Oh no, the 19 slides up, gets to the side of 33. 19's going to lose a couple spots. And then the 4JR cuts down into the 19. Who's going to be the cause of this one? This is the first time I've seen 2 cautions in a B-main. Usually this race goes pretty quick. But we see the number 19 ran into the side of the 33, and then, oh, I don't know if the 4 knew he was there or what he heard, but most certainly was not a fun deal for the 19. Yeah, he gets sideways on the backstretch, and then, well, I don't know what happened there. We'll see what the race director has to say about that. The 19 most certainly just trying to get back into the corner. And we'll see if it might just be a racing deal. The 19 is at the back of the field. Let's see. Let's see what they decide to do here. Might be a conversation with the race director and the drivers out there. I don't get a chance to, don't really get to hear what's going on, but it looks like they might have sorted this out. We're going to go double file. Line them back up once again. Pace truck pulls off. Green flag. Dell with a great restart. But it's side by side with Clausen and Senkow. Here comes Brown on the outside. Oh, what's Clausen going to do? Is he going to gain some speed on the outside? It's side by side on the front stretch as we cross for lap number 4. What a battle here. Here comes the 4JR, slides up in front of Senkow. Oh, the 8 gets into the side of the 33. What a battle here for the lead. Clausen now has it. Dell fighting off second. The third place driver of Senkow and Dell side by side. Brown wants to be in on the action as well. Dell to the inside still. The outside line seems to be a little bit faster right now as Brown's going to move to the outside, gain the third position here. He might have to go a little bit higher still in order to get by Senkow. Dell battling back on the inside, back into second spot on the backstretch, but Senkow's not going to give it away. Here comes Brown to the inside, almost 3 wide for second. As Senkow's way out to lunch out of turn 4, but he's going to get a little bit of momentum to stay ahead of Brown. Wow, what a battle as we're over halfway done this B feature. Brown to the inside now. He's going to try to gain second spot. 3 wide in 3 and 4. Nice and clean racing. 3 wide though. Oh, he's going to get into the right side of the 4. Senkow holds it onto the inside. Brown sliding up the track a bit, but holds it there. Dell has to push really high into the marbles. Brown taking second spot. He's got to keep it off the top because Dell's holding that space. Brown second, Dell third. Clausen all by himself, running a bit of the slick line, slides up into the tack again. Side by side through the corner, but Brown faster on the straightaways. Brown's probably going to slide up just a little bit. Senkow getting back in there. Gets into the side of Dell. Clausen pretty happy with the way his race is going right now, as second, third, and fourth battle it out. Senkow into the marbles. Brown definitely controlling second spot now. Dell could lose the third spot. Two laps to go for Sean Clausen, your leader. No Dave Gerling in this B main. He didn't have to go through a B main this time. Brown firmly in second now. Here comes Senkow on the outside. Not going to be enough. Last lap for the number 33 of Sean Clausen. Brown in a solid second. Oh, the 8 goes a little sideways as the 43 slides up against the rear of his car. Your winner, Sean Clausen. Brown's going to take second. Who's going to take third? Let's find out as we get to the checkered flag. Dell is going to take your third spot. And Senkow fourth. Max Wozni rounding out your top 5. What a race. Started out pretty slow, but here we are figuring out our cars for our feature event. Okay. This is a big grid here. 20 cars. 20 cars, and the one that's going to start the field is the number 48 of Jerome Guillot. Levi Runge on the outside in the number 25 car. Inside second row, Patrick Davis. And on the outside of him is the number 7 of Tony Bachhoven. Chris Peters in the 23 on the inside third row outside of Chris Peters. Last week's winner, Brian Dorge. And behind that is Dave Gerling in the number 13. And Thomas Kennedy in the number 9. I think it might say, yeah, I think he's in the number 9. Look at the skin. It's different than on mine here. Steve Bowman in the number 14. And Bailey Cousins in the number 20 will be starting 10th. In 11th, the number 12 of Jeff Rempel. He's got 2 race wins this season so far. The number 20 of Cole Mandanuk is in the 12th position. Sean Clausen in the 33, who won that B main. And Cameron Brown in the number 4 JR, 15 on my screen as well. Tyler Dell is starting in the 15th position in the number 8, and Gareth Senkow in the 43. Max Wozni will be in the 17th position. 18th of Nick Leonard. I think he's in a 7X right now. Don Ashton in the 99, and Derek Robinson rounding out your top 20 in what is going to be a barn burner of a race in the Cooldown.tv iRacing Street Stock Series at Volusia Speedway Park. Jerome Guillot having an amazing starting position tonight. We'll see if he can hold it. He's had a tough go this season, had a couple good races last season, but overall has been struggling every single week in the Street Stock iRacing Series. Patrick Davis, same thing. Great starting position for him. He's only been up this far, maybe one other time, so he's going to take advantage of this deal. The track position is huge. You would not want to start in the bottom 5 of this 20-car field. Jerome Guillot, Patrick Davis, Levi Runge, all great competitors. Chris Peters as well, who's started in the top 3 almost every feature so far this year, but hasn't been able to get the deal done as the pace truck pulls off. We're going to go green flag for the number 48 and 25. Into turn number 1, Keogh's with the early lead. He gets into the inside wall. No, he's sideways. He's wrecking everybody. Oh, Dorge involved. Peters involved. This is the biggest pileup I've ever seen in racing. On iRacing. In this series, another car is upside down. That's Jerome Keogh. I don't know what happened other than he hit an inside wall. Let's take a look at the replay and find out exactly what happened. Not a good start. Oh, he turned too close to the wall. Oh my. And that was it. Inside wall. Not giving him any help. We're going to have a lot of race cars do a reset here. They're going to have to do a reset. And Jerome Keogh is going to go from the penthouse to the outhouse. He's going to start from 1st to 20th place. We'll see if some other cars here get their resets done. Looks like Cameron Brown has a bit of issue on his car, but he might not pit it this time. This looks like a little bit of nose damage on his car. Cars lining back up with all their resets. Some of these cars looking as fresh as they were when they first started. And some of them not so much. Looks like they're racing, they're just actually catching up to the pace truck. So Chris Peters having to go into the pit will also have to go to the back of the field. Which means you have a new pole sitter, and that's going to be the number 16 of Brian Dorge, who's decided not to reset his car. Must be handling okay. Lots of fender damage. We'll see if his car actually has handling issues or not. But Levi Runge was able to avoid, was probably one of the only drivers, or one of very few drivers, to avoid the majority of carnage that happened in that first lap. Poor Jerome Keogh had a great starting position, got caught up in the inside wall, and took out a whole bunch of cars. Let's see what happens here as we're going to go another lap. Looks like we got a lineup issue near the back that we need to figure out. Dave Gerling in the 11, the purple and aqua? Is in the second row inside. Pat Davis only losing 1 position from that caution as the sun is almost completely gone and the track lights turn on. And you can see every single car has some form of nose damage. Pace truck pulls off. Here we go. Green flag for Brian Dorge and Levi Runge. Going into turn number 1, it looks like Dorge with the early lead. Drivers all over the racetrack trying to find a groove that works best for them. Oh no, the Gerling really sideways. He's going to lose a bit of speed there, but cutting in front of 2 drivers allowed him to kind of keep it up there, and he's going to challenge for second. Challenging for second on Levi Runge. On the very bottom, lots of moisture at the bottom of the racetrack for Dave Gerling. Side by side into turn number 1. Gerling in that slick cuts back down again. Is he going to maintain momentum on the inside? Let's see. A little bit more grip on the bottom of 3 and 4. George is going to hold him off for another lap. 5 laps down. Look at Dave Gerling on his Rift 3D drive in there as we take an inside look at his car. Caution is out, unfortunately, though. He was challenging for the 25. But we have a caution out, looks like around 8th place position. We got a rollover of Steve Bowman involved. Let's take a look at the replay. Yeah, it looks like the Steve Bowman either got sideways or got hit sideways. Let's take a look, slow it down here. And it looks like the number 23 of Chris Peters got into the side of the 14. Didn't. Bowman having no clue who the heck hit him. But yeah, Peters driving really hard into that corner and caught Bowman off edge. Steve Bowman has retired early. Tony Bachhoven's retired early. Chris Peters been sent to the back of the pack. End of the longest line as we have another caution. 2 cautions, only 5 laps into this race. This is a 30-lap race or 40 minutes, and we're already 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's see if we had a really good green flag run. We're going to lose a few drivers from that. We'll see what happens here as we restart. What a race with the number 11 of Dave Gerling and the 25 of Levi Runge for second and third. But look at that, a familiar face at the front, the number 16 of Brian George. Pat Davis in 4th place, doing really well tonight. Had started on the outside front row, and he is looking pretty good out there. Bailey Cousins in the 5th position in the number 7. It's 20 on my screen, but the number 7 had started in 10th position. Dave Gerling actually started in 7th position, running in 3rd, and Brian George started in 6th and is in the 1st position. Looks like we have the pace truck pulling off. Single file restart for Brian George. 5 laps down. George getting a really good run at that start, but it's Gerling and Runge that are going to have the battle. We can really notice the lights now. We'll see what kind of track surface we get as it slowly starts to dry out in the middle of the racetrack. The 25 might have a shot at the lead here the way it's going. He's looking a little bit faster on the outside of the 16 car. It was an early battle with the 25 and 11, but it's starting to turn into a battle with the 16 and 25. On the back bumper, crossing the start-finish line is the number 25, Levi Runge. Caution is out. Oh, heck of a race going here, too. Caution is back out. We'll take a look at the replay and see what happens. Like the 4JR lost it all on his own and then smoked an inside tire. Runge looks like he's going to have a shot at the leader on that last restart. Gerling fading just a little bit. George knows every race is a little bit different. He did lead pretty much every lap last week, and he's led the majority of this one. Actually, almost, I think, all the laps in this one. I don't believe that the number 48 completed a lap. It was in turn number 1 where he hit the inside wall. So here's George in a somewhat familiar position, but he's got some real challenge this time that we didn't see so much last week. And there's a little bit more of a wider groove. Levi Runge has found something that's working, as he was all over the back bumper of the 16 before that latest caution came out for the number 4 JR of Cameron Brown. Patrick Davis still in the 4th position, looking pretty good. Bailey Cousins in the top 5. That looks like someone extremely familiar in the 6th position, however. Haven't seen that driver very much up to this point, but it is none other than our good buddy Jeff Rempel, who started in the 11th position. He's gained 5 positions so far in this race, just as much as Bailey Cousins. They started essentially around the same spot. We'll see if Jeff Rempel, just like last week, didn't start so well, got all the way up to third before the incident on the final lap. We'll see if Jeff Rempel has something for these top 4 or 5 drivers as we head into turn number 3 and 4. I think Pace Truck will be pulling off this time. Let's take a look. Yep, we're going to go green. Double foul restart for Brian George, and someone gets into the back of Gerling. Gerling doesn't hit the gas pedal. Something happened, and the caution's going to come straight back out. That is not a fortunate deal for anyone at the front. I don't know what happened, who got into who. We're going to have to take a look at a replay and get them quickly restarted once again. Let's see what happened here on the cooldown.tv replay. It looks like the 7 got into the back of the 11. And Bailey Cousins is most likely going to be caused for this caution. Let's see what happens. Race director's going to have to come up with a decision here, but it looked like the number 7 got on the outside of the 11 and turned him sideways on that restart. But I don't make the calls from the tower. All it is my observation, and we'll get an official call from the race director really quick here. Pat Davis may have had some damage from that one, but he is staying out there. Brian George staying out there as well. Bailey Cousins is going to go to the back of the line for causing the restart caution, getting into the number 11. Unfortunate deal for the 11. I think the 11's going to have to get a reset. Too much damage on that car. He's going to restart near the back of the field. We only have a total of, let's see, we only have 17 of our 20 cars starting this, or that are, one did not start our race. And it looks like we have a couple that have retired early. Steve Bowman and Tony Bachhoven, both early retirements from this race. It looks like based on the restart there that the number 25 of Bachhoven's going to lead the field. Brian George in second spot. Pat Davis moved back up to third, but guess who's in the 4th position? Yep, that's the number 12 of Jeff Rempel. Pace truck pulls off, single file restart, green flag. It's going to be a battle at the front. The 16 to the inside of the 25 as we complete lap number 10. He gets into the wall a little bit, the number 16. That's going to slow him up. Here comes Rempel to the inside for third. George, side-by-side battle with the 25. George is going to hold on to that inside, try to gain enough on the bottom. Here comes Rempel. Rempel's going to clear for third over Pat Davis. Pat Davis falling back to 4th, and he's got the challenger of Tyler Dell. Both drivers, Rempel and Dell, challengers for this race, most likely, if we get a couple green flag runs. But right now, it's Levi in first. Rempel slides up to the racetrack, but he's in third now. And he's got his eyes set on the number 16 of Brian George. Rempel and Dell are going to slowly gain lap by lap on these top 2, running 2 distinct lines. The 16 and 25 on the outside, the 12 and the 8 on the inside. Not much gain for the 16, but he isn't losing him too much either. Looks like Rempel's decided he's going to try the high line a little bit. Coming out of turn number 4, we're going to be halfway completed this race, halfway done in this green flag run. Looks like George might have found something on the inside here. Is it going to be enough to gain anything? Rempel has gained a significant amount as Dell's fallen behind a little bit. Not gaining at the same rate as Rempel. Rempel's going to be part of this battle real quick, especially if the 16 is going to keep ducking in and out, trying to find a line that works for the 25, or for the 16 on the 25. 1, 2, and 3. It's one thing to catch up to a car, it's another thing to pass them. And all these drivers run on a everyone's running with the same type of setup. It's going to come down to lane choice, when you brake, when you accelerate, how hard you turn the car. Caution is out, the 21 on the outside wall. Oh, what a race this was starting to become, too, as we complete 17 laps of our 30-lap feature. This is a great opportunity for Jeff Rempel to take advantage of this restart. While he was gaining, nothing beats a good restart. The number 12 of Jeff Rempel, competitive every single week, an amazing asphalt driver on iRacing as well, and an amazing super truck driver in real life with many victories. So this is going to tighten them back up, and then Tyler Dell, who I think had 4th position, he's going to be in the mix here as well. He was starting to fall off a little bit as Rempel got closer to the top 2. He kind of left Dell behind, but this is a good restart for Dell. If he can get some good speed and take advantage of any type of situation, it's going to be some breathing down on the next to the top 2, the 25 and 16. 16 has not let the 25 out of his sights at all this entire race, and a lucky restart there, but unfortunate deal for Dave Gerling. The number 11 has restarted at the back. Well, let's take a look at where he is right now. The number 11 of Gerling is in the 15th position. Looks like he's at the tail back. Hasn't gained much of anything as Cole has, I think, withdrawn from this race or is a few laps behind. So we'll see what Dave Gerling has to do to get back up the field. But we're going to be lining them back up 2 by 2. They see the field tightening up once again. We're going to get ready to go green here pretty quick. On this lap round, we're going to go green. Oh, the 99 and the 48 get together in that caution lap. Not maybe some short fuses towards the back of the field here right now. Let's see what happens. Pace truck is going to pull off. Green flag. Levi runs with a great restart. Here comes Rempel on the inside. George battling it out for second. 3 wide on the backstretch. Here comes Rempel to the inside. Is it enough to hold? What a battle here with Dell, Rempel, George, and Runge. Something can happen here. It's such tight racing. It looks like Rempel might have got into the wall a little bit. Slides up the track. Still side by side for first. 3 wide, almost 4 wide. The 16 gets to the back of the 12. That's going to slow everyone up. Dell gets to the inside wall. He's going to shuffle back. Here comes Kennedy. Kennedy challenging for 3rd spot. Dell completely sideways. He's going to get to the side of another car. Let's see if they keep going. They keep it going. Oh, now, it looks like something might have happened with Dell on the backstretch. Green flag is still out. We got a battle, 25 and 12. Oh, everyone's hitting and wrecking. Looks like Senkow's involved. We got a caution now. Just caution. Everyone was banging into everyone there. That is definitely not. Tyler Dell has now resigned from this race after getting sideways a couple times. He is not going to finish this race. But look at Thomas Kennedy now in the 4th position. We're going to restart these cars pretty quick here as we get down to less and less. Just over halfway through our time limit in this race. But it's still Levi Runge so far. Oh yeah, what a wreckfest with Tyler Dell, Jerome Guillot, Sean Clausen, Max Wozni, Gareth Senkow. We'll see who gets to start. Wozny's going to go to the back. Wozni going to the back of the field for causing that caution. We are 2/3 of the way done this race, lap 21. And Jeff Rempel has made it to second spot and is challenging for the lead. We'll see if Levi Runge can hold him off. 11th place is where Jeff Rempel started, and now he's challenging for second. Brian Dorge has fallen back to third, who led a few laps of this race, the first 7 laps to be exact. And Thomas Kennedy, who started 8th, is in the 4th position. Here's another one that was doing so well. Tyler Dell had gone from 15th place to 5th. Before that deal, Pat Davis still holding on to 6th position. We'll see what happens. 16th to 8th, actually, the number 43 of Gareth Senkow, who never thought he'd be able to turn left, but he has been learning and getting faster every week. He won his first heat race just a few weeks ago. Green flag as the pace truck pulls off. And as we count down the last 8-9 laps of this feature event, let's see if Runge can hold them off. Here comes Kennedy. He wants to challenge for 3rd place, but it's all Rempel to the inside of the 25. Is he going to be able to hold enough speed? Still side by side, coming up to the front stretch. As we take lap number 23 here. Sideways. Looks Guillaume's made it up a little bit into the field, although he is... Oh, no, that's Davis with Thomas Kennedy. Oh, Kennedy, or Davis has a bad push, gets into Kennedy. But they keep it going. It is getting slick out there. Those cars at the back of the field, cautions out. I just saw it on the broadcast. Max Wozni involved once again. And Chris Peters. Chris Peters coming in hot. Drives into the side of the number 7 of Cousins. Oh, yeah. Wow. Couldn't hold it down at all. Gets into the side of the 7 of Cousins. We're going to line them up and restart them once again as we're 25 minutes into the 40-minute time limit. Just over halfway. Lots of people taking pictures of the carnage in the grandstands. As Levi Runge is doing everything he can to hold off the number 12 of Jeff Rempel. Jeff Rempel, who's been in the hunt for the lead every single time we've been racing. But last week got stuck into the inside wall and did not finish the feature, even though he had started further back and had a good run at it. It was a kind of a bottom line feed race, and he wasn't able to find a spot at the bottom. And now here he is in the 2nd spot behind Levi Runge. Levi Runge, who's only joined us just a few races ago, who's looked really good out there almost every single week, and he's got an opportunity of being a first-time winner at the Cooldown.tv iRacing series. You know, as many races that we've had over the last 3 seasons in this series, you know, we've only had a handful of winners. Jeff Rempel, Tyler Dell, Bailey Cousins being the main ones. But Brian Dorge last week, phenomenal race for him, being a first-time winner, and maybe Levi Runge being one of those winners as well. Pace truck pulls off. Single file restart for the number 25 of Levi Runge. 16 gets into the wall. Really good start for the number 25. 5 laps to go in this race. Sean Clausen's challenging for 5th, it looks like, with Pat Davis. Pretty good line, very smooth line for the number 25. Rempel nowhere near as close as he was before. He's going to try to dive in a little bit harder. Let's see how much speed he can gain here. He's only got a handful of laps left. He is running out of time. dive a little bit lower and a little bit harder into the corner. Can he keep it there? Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. He's going to get it really sideways this time. It is so hard to tell if he's gained anything. There's only a few laps to go. Oh, he's gained a ton there. He's gained a ton. This is going to be a heck of a finish, folks. Let's see if he can do it again. I don't know. He lost a ton there that time. Here comes Brian George. Does he have a shot at this? Two laps to go. Oh, George has a shot here. All three of them have a shot. Here we go. I'm sure Runge is just shaking. 1 lap to go. Here we go, folks. Final lap. And it's Brian George on the back bumper of the 25. But he's going to have to make a move. 3 wide almost for the lead. Coming out of turn number 2 onto the backstretch. Oh no, the 12 gets into the side of 16. That's going to affect both of them. Here we go. George. Rempel. No, it's going to be the 25. 25 of Levi Runge is going to win it. Wow, what a finish. Brian George, Jeff Rempel rounding out your top 3. We're going to have a chat with them in just a minute. Wow, what a finish. We're going to find out what happened under the helmets of those drivers right away. Wow, what a race. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us tonight. Appreciate you being here. We hope you enjoyed tonight's event. And we hope to see you next week for race number 5. Levi Runge, your winner. Thomas Kennedy in 4th. Sean Clausen rounding out your top 5. Gareth Senkow in 6th. Jerome Guillot 7th. Pat Davis 8th. Bailey Cousins 9th. And Don Ashton rounding out your top 10 in car number 99. All right, well, here we are, our top 3 finishers. And let's start with the 3rd place finisher. Jeff Rempel, back on the podium, had a shot at the lead. Walk us through your race.
Oh, just trying to stay clean and just work my way through there. I had to start a little deep there because crappy heat race, but that worked out well. It was good. It was fun.
You got into the back of the 16 a little bit there with a lap to go. I'm most certainly sure it wasn't on purpose, but do you think that by hitting him a little bit that affected both your chances of having a shot at winning?
Yeah, probably a little bit, but I don't know. We just kind of got together. We were just touched. I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, no, it was it most certainly was exciting to see that finish. Who would you like to thank, Jeff?
Just you and Chris and then everybody that showed up. It was fun. Good night.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. We love to have you. You're an exciting driver to watch out there, especially how deep you started tonight. 2nd place, Brian George, runner up this time, winner last week. Walk us through the race for you.
We got lucky early on that caution. I don't know what happened, but I got shuffled to the front for some reason, and some other faster guys got shuffled to the back. So took advantage of that for as long as I could, and then Levi came and took the spot, and I just tried to run my race from that point on.
So kind of the same question to you as it was with Jeff. You feel you lost a little momentum when the two of you got together?
I felt like I was getting a run on Levi, and he slowed up a bit, and I had to slow down a bit, and that caused me and Jeff to kind of touch. I don't think it really affected us that bad. It was just, you get a run sometimes, and you got to get out of it to keep the car straight.
Who would you like to thank?
I'll just thank all the viewers for watching, whoever is still tuned in, and I'll thank Chris and the guys who organize this whole thing so we can run every week.
All right, thanks a lot, Brian. We look forward to having you back next week. But here's your winner, Levi Runge. Wow, what a race for you. How did it go for you besides super awesome?
It was pretty good, I guess. I don't know. It's only my 2nd night in this league, so went all right.
Was there at any point where you were super nervous, especially when George got on your back bumper before that caution? Did you feel you had an advantage on the restarts versus the long run?
Yeah, I would pull on them on the restarts, but I mean, they caught up to me fast. I'm pretty sweaty right now, just trying to hold those guys off. I don't know. I took some left front damage at the start, so I'm wondering if maybe that was holding me back a little bit, but we got her done.
You never really seem to have tried the bottom lane. Was it just like, hey, you know what, the outside seems to be working for me, so no point changing the deal? Or did you think at some point that maybe you should do some blocking?
Well, if them two cars would have got into each other at the end there, I think I was going to go to the bottom in the last lap, but I seen I still had a little bit of a lead there, so I figured I'd keep the momentum and run the top.
Who would you like to thank for this win?
I'd like to thank this 6-month-old Busch Light I'm drinking, and then thanks Connor for the sim, and thanks for all my fans watching, mom and dad, and all the guys.
All right. Well, congratulations, Levi. And we look forward to having you next week. And that about does it from all of us at cooldown.tv and our Street Stock Racing series. As we finish up week number 4, we'll be back next week on Thursday, same time, different racetrack, but a lot of the same drivers. Thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight. Thank you to all the drivers. And thank you to everyone at cooldown.tv for making this happen. So we hope you have yourselves a great weekend and a great beginning of next week. And we'll see you right back here at the cooldown.tv Street Stock iRacing series. Good night.